Hey folks, I am Kevin Iole, and what a great privilege it is for me today. One of the greatest fighters in the history of mixed martial arts, one of the most exciting guys to watch is my guest right now, Anderson the Spider Silva. And on Saturday at Apex, he will be fighting a really difficult fight against number 10 rated middleweight Uriah Hall. Anderson, you've been doing a lot of this. You've been doing great with your English. I remember when the only two words in English you used to know were "my friend." And now here you are getting ready for a big fight. How are you?
Better. I'm good. And you? Tell me about you.
I am awesome. So I guess the big news is last week you said this might be your final fight. Now it seems like maybe it's not your final fight. What's going on? Is it your final fight? Are you still deciding? What's happening?
Well, maybe this is my last fight in UFC, probably. But let's go see, because I take my focus for one thing, just Ryan Hall right now. And after that, let's go see, and let's go talk to Dana, because Dana say, Anderson have two more fights, but it's up to me. But let's go see, and after Saturday, I can come talk to you and say, okay, this is my last fight or not. I have more, but probably inside UFC, this is my last fight.
So when you say that, it leaves open that you're going to fight probably a different discipline, because if you have more fights left in your career, I know Mike Tyson and Roy Jones are fighting, and you've been attached to Roy Jones a few times. Is boxing something you think about?
Wow, maybe I fight boxing, maybe I fight kickboxing, maybe I fight jiu-jitsu. I don't know, I love my sport. I love martial arts, and let's go see, it's a very interesting moment for us, and especially because the words change a lot, and
Right.
let's go see,
How, you say the world's changed a lot, and of course, you're referring to the pandemic and everything. How has that affected you? You have a young family that you're raising and everything. Maybe you have a different outlook on it than some other fighters. Has it impacted you negatively? Has it made it harder for you to get ready to get to this point?
Well, I think is this change a lot the life for every single family, and you need to take care of yourself and take care about your family. But for me, I think is the big change is just training in my home and stay close to the my team. Everybody take the tests a lot, me too, and stay safe, and try to pass a good example for every single person and my fans too, and stay safe, stay using the whole proceed for uh, make something safe for everybody.
Anderson, since this may be your final UFC fight, I want to talk to you about some issues that the fans kind of wonder about. And when you were fighting in Pride before you got to the UFC, you were a good fighter. You were a guy that people liked. And when you signed with the UFC, there was a lot of excitement. But you weren't the dominant force that you quickly became when you went in the UFC. What changed that you went from a good fighter, you get to the UFC, and all of a sudden you're a legendary figure? You raised your game. What was the difference? How were you able to do that?
Wow, I think is Pride and the other events I fight uh, when I start is the different moment, and the UFC have the huge brand in the world, and a lot of people working hard for make the UFC brand uh, popular in the whole world, and I'm lucky because when I come to UFC give me the great opportunity for the rest of the world watch me, and every single person in the different country uh, see Anderson Silva inside the cage and fight a lot. And it's tough to me for talking about UFC because I have a amazing story inside this company, and I love a lot of people working here, and I have a great respect for Dana and Lorenzo and the Fertitta brothers, and I think UFC is the best uh, event in the world. Is the best, have the best fighters ever. And this is I talked for every single person, and I talk this a lot. Everybody knows about that. And imagine you see take the whole fighters here, one in the class, a heavyweight, light heavyweight in my class, and put in for fight for different events. Probably UFC win because UFC have the best fighters in the world. That's it. When people ask me, who's the best fighter in the world? I think don't have because UFC have the best fighters, and every single person fight here, every single fighter come inside UFC and make the story inside UFC is special, and I'm so happy because I'm part this.
You were long regarded as the greatest fighter in the world. Now, a lot of people think it's either Khabib Nurmagomedov or John Jones. And I wondered, as a fan of mixed martial arts, you love the sport. Um, who do you think is the greatest? Would you say Khabib or John?
Oh wow!
Did you
I love
repeat that? I
both.
didn't hear you, Anderson.
I love both. I love Khabib. Is a very amazing guy. Is a special fighter. Is a very very good guy. And John Jones, I can't talking about John Jones because for me John Jones is my young brother. You know, and I think don't have the best fighter. You know, I think have the best moment for every single person.
Right.
John Jones have the best moment. Khabib have the best moment. Conor have the best moment. Chuck Liddell have the best moment. Royce Gracie, Vitor Belfort, Rodrigo Minotauro, Jose Aldo, me, Rich Franklin, Carlos Newton, and the older fighters, the guys that make this brand huge, you know. And it's not about one, the best fighter. This
Seriously.
brand, UFC brand, is a huge right now because every single person come inside UFC and do your best, make something special. I think UFC is special. No one person. The best fighters, I think don't have.
Okay. I see your shirt. You're wearing the picture of yourself with the kick to Vitor Belfort.
Oh, this is the logo to my company.
Right. And that was a kick, right? To when you hit
Yeah.
Vitor in the face there, right? Um, and that was one of, your most famous knockouts. First of all, in your mind, was that your greatest win? Because there was a rivalry between you, Brazil, split a little bit, and you ended it in a very dramatic and dominating way. First of all, would you say that was your most significant win?
Wow, I think the fight with Vitor is a very special because the moment the fight happened, everything's changed in the world, especially in my country. And it's open this fight opened a lot of doors for Brazilian fighters and for come to make the sport more popular in Brazil. And I need to say thank you for Vitor because Vitor start fighting UFC uh, for a long time,
Yeah.
and Vitor have the huge story inside UFC, and I'm happy, because Vitor give me the one the the great moment inside the cage, and I think for the fans, for us, for Vitor, for me, for the new generation, this fight continue help the future for people watching and say, wow, the best fighters come inside the cage and do your best.
And so that leads me to a question because one of your fights previous to that in Abu Dhabi when you fought Demian Maia, I was there in Abu Dhabi that night, and I remember standing after
I
the fight.
remember you talked to me.
I
Remember.
remember. Yeah,
I remember.
I was standing outside waiting to go into the press conference, and you were in a trailer, and Dana went in there. And I remember I thought Dana was like a running back in football, going to knock people over. He was mad, and you could hear a conversation outside the trailer. Dana was mad at you for the way you fought.
Dana's very mad. You know, let me tell you something.
Okay.
A lot of people, a lot of fighters is scared about Dana, but Dana is a good guy. But sometimes he's come angry because they have the two things, you know, inside the cage, Dana don't have control because inside the cage, who's the business? Is the fighters, is the business inside. He's no, it's my business. It's not Dana business.
Right.
But, you know, I think the fight with Dana is that's I don't like to talk too much because when you talk too much, everything changes inside when you go inside,
Right.
you know, and that's the problem for this fight in Abu Dhabi, you know. And Dana come talk to me and I say, sorry, but I'm winning the fight. I can do it everything you like to do because inside the cage, that's my word. Your word is outside.
Right.
You make the fight, you know. And after that, Dana tried to put in a different class. And again, I just inside the cage. This is my word. That's not your word. It's my word. In my word, I know everything. You know. And
is it intimidating? Like when he came in that day, you know, you're the best fighter in the world at that point. You know, you could pop him and drop him, right? But he's mad and he's in your face, and he feels like he wants to put on a good show for the people in Abu Dhabi, and then he doesn't.
It's a good show.
And
I think it's amazing
he
too.
didn't think your fight was what he.
When you look this fight for Damian Maia, you see, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's a very interesting show. You know, I don't think so. Is the bad and Dana expects too much,
right?
But this is not happening. You know, sometimes you knock out the guy, sometimes you take the knockout, sometimes the fight is come perfect, the same you think in your mind. But it's not about Dana. It's not about how much Dana expect. It's about how much you prepare for fight and do your best you can. You know.
I want to ask you one other question on that line. In boxing, a lot of times, you know, the fighters will say, win this one, look good in the next one. But in MMA, you know, you see the fighters, they fight offensively a lot more sometimes than maybe would be good. They could win it in a more boring style, but they, you know, you hear guys say, I want to have my brawl and I want to have my moment. Do you think that's because promoters urge that kind of fight? Does Dana urge that kind of fight? And do you think that fighters feel that pressure to perform that certain way?
Wow, you know, it's tough because for you make the good fight. Uh, uh, okay, let me try to explain. You put in the Anderson Silva and okay, Israel design, all right? You expect maybe this is amazing fight, or Israel maybe knock him out Anderson, maybe Anderson knock him out Israel. But sometimes this not happen because fighters fight, you know, it's different. You can imagine it in your mind, but inside the cage is completely different, you know. And I think the Dana have a lot of experience in putting the good shows, but sometimes it's not happen, you know. It's a business. Sometimes your business come good, sometimes not, you know.
Interesting. How is Lorenzo that way? I mean, I know you were close to Lorenzo. Was he, you know, was he upset? Did he get upset the way the fight was, or was he more accepting of, you know, however it goes, it goes?
Wow, I think I you know, people ask me about Dana, I just talk very simple. I don't have nothing for talk bad about Dana.
Right.
Dana is a very interesting man, you know, but is very good guy. I respect Dana a lot, and when I have a problem with Dana, I just talk. I don't. I. I'm not the same though the fighters. Sometimes the people uh, uh, take everything Dana just put in a table, and when it's done, oh, because this, and try to talk bad about Dana. But it's not about. It's not about talk bad for the people. Just make something good for both sides. And when I talk about Lorenzo, I'm I'm very happy. And I miss you, Lorenzo, inside UFC, because Lorenzo is a very good guy. Dana is a good guy too, but I think Lorenzo just bring inside UFC the energy closer to family company. And I feel when Lorenzo come out the UFC, this energy come out too, because Lorenzo make something special for every single person, you
Mm.
know. And I think the problem right now, because Dana don't have a time to doing the same. Dana, sometimes Dana's here, sometimes Dana's you. Where is Dana White? In flight, in here, there, and there, and there, and working a lot. And I think Dana don't have a time to continue make the same energy inside the company. Especially because the company now is a completely different owner and everything. But I love UFC. I have the amazing story inside this company, and every single moment I try to do my best. And um, I training hard every single day uh, for stay prepared, because I know sometimes something happen, and I'm ready for take the fight. The same I do it with Daniel Cormier. The same I do it with the guy in Brazil. And that's my part. That's the my part inside the company. Do my best and stay ready whole time.
When I know this may or may not be your last fight, but when you're done and you're no longer fighting, what will be what you miss the most? Will it be the actual fights, or will it be going to the gym and training and being with your teammates, or something else?
I think I go feel sad about training camp, because every single camp training I have, something's changed. I absorb more and new one technique, and the relationship with the guys too, because every single camp I have, I bring the best guys in your skills, and every single person teach me something new one. And for me, it's amazing because I love martial arts, and when I training a lot and absolve the different technique, I just say, "Oh my God, thank you God for giving me this opportunity." And the the 2 days ago when I come to Vegas, I talked to the whole team, and everybody emotional, and I just say, guys, thank you so much. Maybe this is the last camp training, but I'm very happy because every single person here is special for me, and I need to say thank you because it's a one more fight, but it's not about fighting. It's about how much you love your job, how much you love everything in your life, and try to make something special for yourself. And that's I come here and I fight again.
Well, for the last 15 or so years, I have loved watching you fight, as have millions of other people. Anderson, thank you so much. We'll see you at the Apex on Saturday. Good luck to you, and appreciate all your time. Congratulations on a magnificent career.
Thank you, my friend. See
You
you.